So today we are going to see walking as an exercise. So everybody knows how to walk. We have been doing it from a very young age. So we don't take it very seriously when we start doing it as an exercise to lose weight or for general health. And that is where we end up getting into a lot of trouble. So before we go into walking, how to do walking, let's see what are the benefits of walking. You probably are very aware with all these things. First thing is an aerobic exercise. It's very good for increasing the energy utilization, metabolism, and it's one of the best forms of cardio, very safe form of cardio if done right. It is very good to increase the immunity of the body and also increases and improves the mood of a person. It is very easy to do and doesn't need any special equipment and can be done anywhere at any time. It also is very useful in reducing the blood sugar, increasing the tone of the muscles, strength, and general health. It also eases joint pain, brings mobility in the joints, and also it kind of lubricates the joints by increasing the movement of the joints. So let's see how to walk properly. Are we really walking properly when you're doing an exercise? The first thing to consider is your posture. The posture needs to be correct. Your shoulders need to be rolled back. The hips should be square facing forward. The weight on the legs should be evenly distributed, even placing of the foot. And you have to swing your arms at a brisk pace while you're walking. But that doesn't mean you have to keep your arms very straight and do a military or the army kind of a walking. No, the elbow has to be bent at 90 degrees and a slow forward and backward movement of the arms needs to be done. And this has to be synced with your leg movement. So when your right leg is coming forward, your left arm should come forward. Similarly, when your left leg is coming forward, your right arm should come forward. Make sure it is not on the same side, not right arm, right leg, it's opposite limbs. This kind of helps you with the mild trunk rotation at the mid portion of your trunk. This is very important to maintain the hips in a square form. When I mean hip square, it means facing forward in the direction in which you are moving. So that is number one, the posture. And two, the swinging of the arms with opposite limbs in sync. And the third one is not over striding. Not when somebody tries to walk fast. The usual thing that happens is they take long strides. They increase the length of their stride. That is not recommended. Instead, you have to increase the stride rate. The amount of steps you take per minute, that needs to be increased and not the length of your stride. Because what happens when you have a very long stride than your usual capacity is you tend to lock your knee out. You straighten the knee beyond its capacity and also you land on the heel with all the weight. So there's a concept called the ground reactive force which reacts back when the heel strikes the ground. And this ground reactive force can be high if your striking of the heel is heavy. So striking directly on the heel with all your weight when you walk fast can push the weight directly into your knees and your hips. So it can take a toll on your knees, the hip, and eventually when the hip is disturbed, it can even take a toll on your spine. So that is something we should watch out. This is very, very important point here. The strike rate can be increased but not the stride length. The stride length needs to be slightly on a comfortable level where you can slightly bend the front leg when you strike the leg down. So when you come on the foot, when you land on the foot, it should be evenly between the entire foot or slightly on the front part of your foot, the foreleg, the toes and then the heel. Or you go on your heel, you go on the base of the heel and not on the edge of the heel. So you can distribute the weight between your legs in such a way that not the entire weight doesn't fall on the heel. So that is very important. And the fourth point is don't overtrain. A lot of people think if you keep overtraining, be it walking or any exercise for that matter, you will get stronger faster, you lose weight faster. That is not the case. There is a certain extent to which the body can be pushed on a daily basis. So you need to work on that on a very calm and controlled pace. So that needs to be taken into account. Say you start with 2 kilometer walk per day. Then gradually over a period of time, say 2 weeks, you increase it to 2.5. Or you can increase the speed of your walk for the same time. It all depends on how much time you have. But that doesn't mean you have to overtrain. Pushing yourself beyond your limit can do you more harm than the good that you will get from the walking. So that is another important point that needs to be taken into account. And the fifth most important point is the shoes. The shoes that you're going to wear. That is very important when it comes to walking, running, any cardio exercises. Make sure the shoes are with good cushion. They come with a good cushion. They come with a good arch support. A lot of people have what is called as a flat feet with very less or nil arch support. So you need to have a shoe which has good arch support, or at least make sure you have an insole. You can put it into the shoes which you already have, which gives you that additional arch support. This is very important to avoid plantar fasciitis and any other knee pain which is related to this. So even if you're doing the other four properly, if you don't have a good arch support by nature, then you need to work on the shoe or the insole which helps you get that arch support. Otherwise you're going to have trouble with your knees and the ankle. So these are the 5 points you need to remember. First, the posture, the swinging of the arms but not very rigid, no army or military walk. The third one is the strike rate. Don't increase your stride length. The fourth is not overtraining, and the fifth is good shoes. So how can you motivate yourself to walk better or to keep your walking exercise regular? So you can do something called the mixing up of the minds. You can walk forward for some time, you can walk sideways, and you can walk backwards. Only if the floor or the road is even and there's not much traffic and you have space, you're not disturbing anybody. So you can go in any direction. That kind of mixes up your minds and challenges your body in different ways. The other way you can keep yourself motivated is to do interval training kind of a walking. You can increase your pace for a certain period and slow down, again increase your pace and slow down. You can do a little bit of hill walking and then come to plain ground. You can keep mixing up your way of walking. You can probably jog a little bit and come back to normal walking pace. So that is one way to keep it challenging and interesting. And the other way is you can add some weights. You can add some weights to your legs or hands, but from my experience and what I see in my clients, I wouldn't suggest everybody use an ankle weight or a wrist weight, because a lot of people, or a dumbbell in your hand, which kind of cramps up your legs and arms and the ankles. They get swollen. So I would suggest, if you're going for that, it's not mandatory. If you have the habit of you want to push yourself, you can have a weighted vest on your torso. So that kind of weighs you down and makes it harder to walk. So that increases your cardio effect. That kind of gives a challenge to your legs to carry you forward. And you should be walking at a brisk pace. You can have a partner to accompany with you so that you get motivated every day to go out and walk. So that can be done, but make sure you're not talking to the partner, you're not conversing regularly, so that both of you will not get the benefit of the walking. So you can probably make sure you walk at a pace, brisk pace, in such a way that you should be able to breathe properly, but not at the same time talk big sentences. You can probably utter a word, 1 or 2 words separately, and a good level of breathing. That should be a good pace to walk. If you're going to be able to talk big sentences, long sentences, then that means you're not really doing your best. And talking about breathing is also something you should take care when you're walking. So make sure your inhalation and exhalation are at a pace which you can manage and doesn't agitate your heart rate to such an extent that you have to stop and take a break. Make sure the breath syncs with your movement of the arms and the legs. And while walking, there's another thing I would like my clients to focus, particularly when you step forward with your legs. Make sure you shift the weight of your hips forward when the leg moves forward. Don't keep the weight on the back leg and just step forward to the front leg. That doesn't make any sense. Your center of gravity is somewhere and your leg is moving somewhere, and it's not going to support your ankles or the knees. So instead, when you step forward, I want to shift your body weight or shift the hip forward by engaging your glute muscles slightly and engaging your core muscles in a mild way. And then shift forward with your legs, again shift the other leg and move the weight forward. That's how you do the walking. So make sure you can challenge yourself by taking different paths, not the same path. You can challenge yourself 1 week this way, 1 week another route. So keep yourself challenged that way. You will have something interesting to look around. If you can, go out in the nature and have a nice trekking kind of a walking where it's nice and pleasant to walk. And make sure you're hydrated throughout. Doesn't mean you have to take big gulps of water, but take small sips of water. And the previous night before that also make sure you're hydrated in a regular way throughout the day. And after coming back, it is very, very important to stretch yourself. Stretch all the relevant muscles, the legs, the hips, the lower back, the upper back, and the neck in that particular order. And make sure you're giving the stretch enough time to really work. And while you're stretching, in case of any tight tissues, you might feel a lot of pain. So that position, remind yourself to breathe deeper and relax the muscle. It's very, very important to stretch after the walking and warm up just before you start going for a walk. The warm up in the sense means it's more a dynamic movement than a static movement. So we prefer a little bit of arm swings, arm circles, torso twisting, and then a little bit of a squat position. And then a few squats, and then you can start going for a walk. And then as you come back, finish your walk and take the time to please stretch all the big muscles in there. So these are the things one should remember to do walking. And then walking will be fun. It will give you the result you need to get. And you will find yourself doing a lot better with walking. So hope you found this video very useful. Please share it with your friends who will be interested in such videos. Please subscribe, share, and click on the bell icon for immediate notifications on my videos. And call 9500068224 on any queries regarding online yoga and Pilates classes. There are classes even for rehab, for therapy, and also for prenatal yoga. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.